Hey everyone, and welcome to Motivibes channel. If you want to learn how successful people manage their time, watch the video till the end to learn some techniques they are already using.
And then just work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in, 80 to 100 hour weeks every week.
Do you know what the number 1440 represents to you? Do you know that it is your lucky number?
I think a lot of people think I must spend a lot of time with media.
After doing some research and reading many books about how successful people are managing their time, we decided to share the conclusions we've reached with you. The first thing you have to do is to learn how to say no when you don't want to do something, or when it is just a waste of time. There is a book called Hell Yeah or No by Derek Sivers. He says that if you feel anything less than, wow, that would be amazing. Absolutely hell yeah. Then, say no. When you adopt a hell yeah or no approach to life, you create a space in your life to focus on what really matters and spend time doing things that are really worth doing. And know that sometimes you need to sacrifice something over something. You cannot do everything you want to do. People keep wasting their time by trying to do everything by themselves. Like, if someone is creating a new YouTube channel, they may take days or sometimes weeks editing a video rather than asking for help, or delegating this task to a freelancer to edit it, and that would let them have more time to focus on other important tasks, as marketing of the channel. You must know that your time is precious, even if you are going to spend money within your budget. That's better than wasting hours achieving only minimal steps. Do you know what the number 1440 represents to you? Do you know that it is your lucky number? It's the number of minutes you luckily have each day to decide how to spend it. When you truly realize how valuable a single minute is, we can lose money and make it back again. Our health, we can get sick and get healthy again. But time, once it's gone, it's gone. Time is life. In 1 minute for your health, you can bang out some push-ups or take a cleansing breath. In relationships, you can tell someone that you love them or that you care for them. In business, it takes a minute to have a breakthrough idea. And once you truly understand that, all of a sudden, you're not gonna let people steal your time with all those got-a-minute meetings or other trivial things. Start your day an hour earlier from your usual wake-up time, and don't check your phone as the first thing when you wake up. Try to create your own morning routine with meditation, walking in the fresh air, or working out, gratitude journaling, and give yourself enough time to have your breakfast and drink your coffee while enjoying your favorite music. There is a huge difference between being busy and being productive. Productivity is not about working harder, it's about working smarter and getting more tasks done in less time. You need to know what tasks are the most important to you, because you can be busy and productive as hell on the less important tasks, and then literally, it's like scoring in the wrong end zone because you were not focused on a task that mattered to you. So, you need to identify your MIT, the most important tasks. To know more about MIT in detail, click the link in the description box to watch our video about MIT. We all struggle with time. Stop telling yourself that you don't have time. We all used to say 24 hours are not enough. No, you have time. Elon Musk, most of his time goes to his main companies, Tesla and SpaceX. He also spends time on the Boring Company and OpenAI.
How do you spend your days now? Like, what do you allocate most of your time to?
My time is mostly split, it's split between SpaceX and Tesla, and of course I try to spend it's a part of every week at OpenAI. So I spend basically half a day at OpenAI most weeks, and then I have some OpenAI stuff that happens during the week.
But surprisingly, it doesn't only go to his business and projects, but according to the biography that Ashley Vance wrote on him, he spends 4 days a week with his 5 children. So, as you can see, it's the most hectic daily schedule that you could meet. Although we couldn't get his exact daily schedule, we've known from some interviews he had how he spends his time. Despite what most people might think about him, that he spends most of his time on social media. He actually spends 80% of his time on engineering design.
I think a lot of people think I must spend a lot of time with media or on businessy things, but actually almost all my time, like 80% of it, is spent on engineering design.
Elon Musk uses a technique called TimeBoxing. TimeBoxing technique can be simply done by setting a fixed amount of time for each task to know how long it's going to take, and integrating this box in your schedule. We want to focus on this method more because not many people know about it, and because successful people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Cal Newport are using it. So, we are going to break down exactly how you can use the TimeBoxing technique to help you to be more efficient in your work or studies. Write your tasks on a paper or a board, and decide a specific amount of time for each task. Like, I will study for 20 minutes. I will clean the house within 30 minutes. That doesn't mean that you are just filling your calendar, but it concentrates more on the due time. You know, you are going to consume 20 minutes of studying, despite what time you start or what time you end, and then move to the next block, which is 30 minutes for cleaning the house. Also, you can use calendars like Google Calendar to decide what time to start and what time to end, and that could be more helpful if you are a student and have a fixed time for gaps between classes. Either way, you are going to use this technique, and to apply it successfully, the first thing you need to learn is how to properly estimate how long tasks would take from you. But unfortunately, people are not good at estimating the duration of how long things are going to take. We usually face the planning fallacy, which describes how people tend to make over-optimistic predictions for how long things will take. And this way of planning is not going to work with the successful TimeBoxing, because if you intend on making super over-optimistic predictions for the task's duration, then it will end up by doing less than half of what you've planned to do. So, the only solution to get better at estimating how long your tasks are going to take is to track your time. And there are many apps that could help you in tracking your time, or you can just use your phone's timer to get the average time you usually spend on each task. Alright, so now we must face the most frequent objection that people might think of when it comes to applying this strategy. What about distractions? How can we deal with it? No need to tell you that scrolling is just a waste of time. And here is a thing that no social media creator will tell you: that they make money from you when you keep scrolling and watching their content. But, on the other hand, if you think about it, if you keep scrolling uncontrollably, you will lose money, because your time is precious and you could be working or doing some productive things at the time of scrolling. You have to also track your wasted time and reduce it. So, that's for the distractions that you create by yourself. But, how could you deal with things that you couldn't plan for? Or, those things that just pop up and interrupt you? Well, as Dwight D. Eisenhower once said, plans are nothing. Planning is everything. So, when your plans get interrupted, revise that plan. Cal Newport shared his TimeBoxing, or time blocking, as he calls it. He advises designating certain blocks of time as what he calls reactionary time blocks of time that are set up for dealing with those things that come up during the day that you didn't plan for. Now, sometimes things are going to pop up that you have to deal with right away, although they might be in a time block that you planned for another task, and in this case, you have to deal with it. But if something pops up and you can delay or deal with it later, then a reactionary time block is the perfect time to take care of it. Our advice to you is to avoid the temptation of overloading your schedule.
And then just work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in, 80 to 100 hour weeks every week.
Although Elon Musk puts in 80 to 100 hours work per week, doing so many things at once, that's completely not easy to do, and you must know what you can really do in a given day. As the author of The 4 Disciplines of Execution pointed out, the more you try to do, the less you actually accomplish. It's critical that you create limits for the time of working and take time for self-care. It's really important to understand that your brain needs a break, And if you want to be successful, you have to find and schedule the time to stop working as well as scheduling your work time. Remember, if you don't spend enough time alone every day trying to listen to yourself and try to listen to the words of your spiritual guides, then you are only going to follow the noise from society outside. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends, because more incredible content is on the way.